Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey and welcome back to part 2 of the country barn build that we are trying to do here in Lego Fortnite. And I gotta say, just like part 1, it's been fun. It's truly been fun creating things in Lego Fortnite. Is We need more. We need a little more freedom. We need a little bit more pieces, but I do believe that will come as we continue to play this game, right? As the future updates will continue to come, we're gonna be able to build better, right? I think that's my opinion. I hope that's where everything leads to. But as you can see, we're back on it again, and one of the first things we need to do is start completing this roof. And as you can see, I was already struggling on this piece over here because I was trying to find the right piece that goes in this corner. But the more I was looking, there is no piece. If I'm missing it, guys, please let me know down in the chat. Maybe you guys know, maybe there was something that I'm missing, maybe I haven't unlocked it, I don't know, but I don't seem to find the right piece for this particular corner that goes in this direction. So as more I was trying to look, I had to decide and to go with this little gray one. Now this little gray one fit correctly, it had the right angle. That's exactly what I needed to find, but it's not on the other color, so I don't know if there's something missing. Maybe they never added it. Don't know exactly, but if you're following this along and you happen to find the right piece, then let me know how you found it, where it was at. Maybe I overlooked it, but as you can see, at least I was able to kind of close this out with this gray piece that's from another set. Okay, so as we continue to do this, I'm trying to decide exactly how do I want to keep approaching this scenario over here. And I did want to duplicate the same beams, right? The same pillars that I have on one side, I want to do it on the other side. And I needed to find the right ones and how I did it. I actually forgot how I did this. I was like, oh my gosh, wait, this is too small, this is not working. And I couldn't figure out at first. And then I remember that it's like, oh, wait a minute, I have a beam going across the top. Now, this kind of stuff happens, especially when you're building a lot and you're building on the spot, when you really have a blueprint, and you sometimes, and you come back the following day and you're like, oh my gosh, wait, how did I did this? But good thing, everything is recorded, so I was able to go back, see a couple of things. I was like, oh, that's how I did that, But for you guys that are watching this and following this along, I hope that all of this kind of makes a little more sense, But the first things is we need to complete the roof, imitate what we did in the front, imitate it on the back side. And that's one of the great things when it comes to designing and building, especially in builds like this. That is, a lot of it is duplicating, right? You duplicate what you did on the front, duplicate on the back. You still gotta come up with the ideas, like on this corner piece over here. Like I'm trying to attach. Now we don't have all the same beams, all the same stuff all the time. So sometimes, like in these support beams over here, as you can tell, I'm using a different one. Because everything in Lego Fortnite right now, we don't have all the pieces. I do feel like it's so important if any developer is watching this, or somehow they find this video, or maybe you are also a content creator that watching this video, mention it on your videos. We need one square of every tile piece that they give us, because if they able to do that, you know what? We can actually complete a lot of our builds, even if we have to put one piece so many times. It will help so long. Okay, so the next thing that we needed to do is go ahead and put the fencing back again. That's gonna be our railway for up here. All of this is just aesthetic. It's just gonna be just to add a little more flair into the build. So if you like this fence, go ahead and use it. If you prefer another one, maybe you prefer without it. Maybe you prefer to put windows all across over here. Maybe you want a solid, and that's the great thing about designing like this in many ways in Lego, right? Is constantly doing something that is gonna make you, right? And whatever you like in designing, then you add it. There's never a wrong way to design. There's never a right way or a wrong way. It's everything gonna be based on who you are, the style that you like, the colors you like, the items that you like. And that's why designing is so much fun, because what looks good for another person is not for the other individual. But I do love the way everything's coming out over here. Now, I did face a situation here. Nothing was coming to math, nothing was coming to size. I couldn't place the last little railway over here, so I took a break, I took a moment. I'm gonna finish this floor up over here, and as you can see, we finished the floor. Now, I added the steps over here, but I eventually gonna move the stairs and they're gonna be facing the front. I ended up liking more facing the front. I really wanted to use more the long way for the storage area that I want this building to be in many ways. So I had another idea that maybe I could do 2 stairs leading one way, but this is what I mentioned in the first part of the video. If you watch the first part of the video, I mentioned that I wish I would have made the top a little bit wider, you know, and that's something going forward. I think the more we play Lego Fortnite, the more we're gonna understand. It may look big on the outside, but sometimes the inside, by the time you put everything, you don't get the space that you want. So if I had to do this all over again, I will definitely make it wider, not just on the outside, but also on the inside, so I can actually fit more of the stuff that I really want. But as you can see, I went ahead and finally moved it. We're gonna make the opening over here, and I like this more. It's actually maybe the stairs a little bit on the way in the front, so if the build was bigger, if we push back just a little bit more, but I liked it. I like how it came out. I like that we can go more to the side and there's more of a storage area. The front over here, we cannot really use it. I mean, we can put a lot of decorations over there and make it feel like a storage area, and maybe that's the approach that I would like to do if I want to just completely design it and fill it up. Maybe this side, the short side now, that could be a storage area. Put barrels, put this, put just a bunch of stuff, like make it really cluttered. And then the other side is where we're gonna put chests and all that, and it becomes like a little storage area. And I think that's kind of the approach in my mind that I'm thinking handling when it comes to decorating this little building. Okay, so like I mentioned, designing is designing, right? Always feel proud of what you design. Always be, you know, okay, don't compare yourself to others, you know, just do what you want to do. You know, that's the aspect, that's the creativity power when it comes to designing. It's a creative outlet, and there's no right way or wrong way to create something, right? Just make it the way you like, and the freedom that Lego Fortnite gives us to build something uniquely and amazing is truly incredible. Okay, so as you can see, I'm doing final modifications here. I'm trying to add something else over here just to make the steps a little stand out. And then slowly, this is when I noticed a while back that I mentioned in the video that I noticed that I can't put my floor now. Everything is too tight, you know, and nothing. And then if I was gonna put flooring, nothing was gonna work the way that I want to. So yeah, you know, because if you put the flooring now, I've got to, everything is raised by one, everything is in the way. So you literally gotta do the whole build over again, right? So it's not gonna work. So okay, so what I need to do now is extend the area, because I do want to do like a double fencing on the outside out here. And again, this is all aesthetic. It's not something you need to do. You don't need to have another fence over here, but I do kind of like the looks of it. I think it's gonna give it something. So we're surrounding this build right over here, and we're gonna make it solid, and we're gonna make it over here. It's gonna go around. Now we're still missing the pillars, so we're gonna add pillars very soon on the back side, so everything feels great and equal to the other side. Now this is the other struggle that I'm having, and I think it's gonna be a learning curve as you're watching, is how to get the proper placement. You know, it's hard with the camera movements in Lego Fortnite. I really can't stand in a specific direction. There's no grid, there's no way to know. We have a tiny little grid underneath the pieces, but it's not long enough. It just doesn't help. So one of the ways that I've been able to do it, especially, is counting the studs, you know, on the blocks underneath. And once you count it, and then place the copy, especially if you're duplicating something in the same position in the front, but you need it in the back. What I'm trying to do is land the pillar like as it goes in top of one, and once I do that, then I can move it back into the direction and then count the studs and make sure everything is falling perfect. And once I did that, that worked out. So counting the studs really helped, and kind of, if you have enough room to move it around, then make sure the pillar is with the other one, and then you kind of move it to the side very slowly with the arrow keys, of if you're in your controller with the D-pad, so doesn't move out of place, and then you can place it perfectly. Okay, so now the next thing, again, we're doing the fencing, right? Because we need to frame this. This needs to feel solid, needs to feel finished. And the fencing, like always, is just like what happened on the top, just like what happened everything here. Sometimes everything can line up perfectly. Sometimes everything may not land. See, like over here, it's sticking out. So sometimes you gotta do a weird combination between the 3 and the 2 and the 4, maybe 3 3 3 2, maybe 4 3 2. You know, there's different things, and that's something that you need to slowly try to decide to see what's gonna work or not. And as you can see over here, there's a couple more things that I needed to fix. I noticed something is not feeling just right at the end over here. It's not falling there when I want to. The way I have the fencing going around the beams, I really wanted to go over here, but it was not gonna work out. So what I decided to do is just put it on the inside, so it's just at least we got the fence right. Now we adding the border on the very top, as you can see. We adding over here, and again, it's gonna leave a gap. And those gaps, you know, it could be a deal breaker or no deal breaker for depending who you are. Sometimes, like I mentioned on the first video, sometimes you gotta improvise. You gotta cover them up in a way that you may not want to. Maybe you gotta use a beam. Maybe you gotta cover it up with another type of fence. Maybe you come up with something. But as you can see right here, I'm destroying this again because I noticed it's not placed the same way as I did the front. So I did it the wrong way, so I need to put it inside the pillars. But once I did that, then here we go again. It became a little situation that's not working correctly. And once again, we gotta start to figure out which pieces fit where. What do I need to do? What's gonna work better? Is it the two? Is it here? Do I need to do a compromise? And situations like this, once again, it can be a little frustrating, you know, so you need to maybe take a step back, relax for a moment, you know, work on something else, take it easy, you know. It's, as you start Lego Fortnite, as we all are, is a learning curve. You know, sometimes, especially if you're trying to be precise, right? If you're trying to do the best that you can, you know, like I said, it's different. It's different than any builder games out there, you know, the way we control the camera, the way everything is placed, the way the movements are, but if you just take a moment and relax, you know, take a breather, I know you can do it. You can do it. I promise. You know, you're going to be able to master this game, and it's going to get easier and easier as you play. I do feel by the time I finish this build and I'm working on another one, it's already starting to feel better. You know, I think everything's coming full circle. Okay, so now I'm wrapping it around. I'm changing my mind. So I'm going to wrap around all this stuff all around the edges over here. And as you can see, I'm trying to see if this design will work better. But once again, the math is not working out. Nothing is shaping up. I can't land the last one, not the three, not the two is too short, and it's weird, right? Because you feel like, okay, if I got three, the three didn't fit, I put the two, it feels like it leaves a block. So what I did, the best way that I could make this work was just adding another beam. Adding another beam to cover that little hole. Nothing is gonna fit perfectly, but the beam helps, right? Instead of having an empty gap, the pillar is just gonna look a lot better, and that's what we did. And I kind of like that, you know, and that's something that I wanted to explain. You know, sometimes if you can hide it, it's gonna be great. It's still Lego, it's still a build, doesn't have to be perfect all the time, you know. Unless you really want to be perfect, then you just gotta keep tweaking it, building, expanding, and finding the right measurement, the right pieces. Maybe this wasn't the right fence. I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes some of the pieces, they may look the same on the picture, but they're a little different lengths, you know. So maybe another fence would have fit perfectly in the right spot with the right measurement. It would have been perfect, but I really wanted to use this one, and I was already committed kind of to this fence, you know, and I really like the aesthetic and the way this one look. But don't be attached to anything of the materials that we're using here. You know, you see this build, you can make this with any of the other pieces of the Lego, you know, that we have right now at this very moment. Maybe you want to go with the castle looking one. Maybe you want to go with the oriental looking one. You know, whichever piece that genre that you want to use this for this build, it's gonna look great. I think it's gonna look great, right? I can't wait to build this myself with other pieces, with all the colors, just to see how it will look. But for now, you know, we're working on the grassland, and I decided to make a cabin village area. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a lot of brown. So that's what we're working on. Different tones of browns all the time, just to make things fit the vibe that we're going for. Okay, so now that we finally tweaked that, we did the fencing, we got the roofing. Now we gotta work on this. What's sitting on top, because we can't have this in the air, right? Now this part is so, I don't know, there has to be a better way. And if you know a better way to actually do this, because it works great until you get to a certain level, and then it gets so hard. The only way I was able to find to get myself and put the pieces under the blocks, again, it's like I have to go so far away from the camera, so far away from the camera, so I can actually place these blocks. And as you can see, I was trying to run away from the enemy. I didn't want to fight him at the moment. I didn't have the right weapons, so I just went ahead and we fast forward and we went to the next day. But as you can see, once I go very far away, then I can make it land. But when I'm up close, I cannot get it just right. And I don't know how many of you struggle with this. Let me know. But right there, finally click. If there's a trick, if there's a way, if there's something that I'm doing wrong, leave it down in the comments. Let me know. I would like to understand it better. I would like to do it better. I will give you the shout out, well deserved, for the person that can help me with it to understand it just a tad better. Like right here. It should be simple to be able to place this and make it. And sometimes I have to go very far away, as you saw it over there, and then bring it in. I don't know. It's just one of those things. And I know a lot of people are struggling with this. I get it in the comments. I get it during my live streams when we were talking about this. But if you got any tips, let me know. But this was the other most important part for me. It was working on this section over here. And here, it was so hard. Like you can see, I'm trying to make it clip from the top to the bottom and it's not working. So I had to get in these weird angles, and this sometimes is the struggle for me with Lego Fortnite. It's like, come on, it should be a little bit more simple than this, right? I don't know, maybe we need more control. You know how we can move by the arrow keys, go side to side. Maybe they can add something that we can go up and down as well. So when you're right underneath it and you need to go up, you clicks up. I don't know. Something has to be done. Something has to be done because some of this stuff should be a little bit easier, but it's in the infancy, right? Lego Fortnite is in the infancy. I do believe it's going to improve. The more people play, the more creative people are, the more the creative community gets on board. I do believe that we're going to have a lot more fun and more people are going to enjoy this game and build it, right? It's going to be great. Okay, so now here we go again. So now we're back on the top of the roof. We got to figure out what we're going to do with this space right here. It's always leaving a little gap, and sometimes you just gotta do something. You just gotta leave it the way it is, or maybe add the fence and leave the two sides empty, or just leave it open. And it's gonna be a decision that's gonna be, everybody's gonna have a different take, different way to approach it. I'm trying to look for something. Maybe I wanted a window, maybe something, but nothing will fit in this particular space that I have, and that was another downside. It won't happen. So as you can see, I'm placing the fence, I'm leaving the two little gaps. I'm trying to see if I can put maybe another beam next to it or something like that that will look good. Trying to try the corner pieces to see if the corner pieces could look good in here, but no, it just doesn't fit. And yeah, so I do believe at the end I just left it the way it is. I think sometimes you gotta do those compromises, right? And then if it bothers you, then we just need to work harder, like I said, this is just one particular build. There's a lot of improvement just on this build alone. I know a lot of you are seeing this and will get inspired to do even better things, take this build and take it to the next level by adding so much more. But okay, so now we gotta get back on the roof. We gotta work on this piece here on the very top. And once again, this piece on the top here, we don't have one. I tried it again. I tried to find something that will fit, that will kind of work, will click and give me a little less, but no, I just could not make it work. So the only thing that I could do is try to just kind of build maybe a fake chimney, just something that we can put up here. It gives you a little difference. So we went with gray just because it looked good, then just the brown foundation just to give a little extra accent. I think the gray kind of looked nice, and that's what we're doing. So as you can see, we're just building along, trying to create something here. It's not perfect. I think eventually I may want to tweak this and make it a little better, but for now I just wanted something that will represent visually from the bottom, something that will kind of recognize, and that's it. I just fill up the gap, put up some of the gray pieces, and that's it. I was trying to see if I can find something that will look like fire or something like that. I saw the candles, but I don't think I like the candles up here the way they were gonna look. So we scratched that idea and we're back. We're checking everything, looking at everything, the way everything's coming out. Is everything feeling okay? Do I need to move something? And the next thing I noticed, like, you know what? I think I would like to have some rails right next to the stairs that's going up, just to give it an extra detail and whatnot. I haven't done that just yet. So as you can see, we took down all the stairs that we used to climb up the ladder, and now we want to add the rails. And I think the rails are pretty cool. I like what it gives it to the stairs, gives it to the step, and it looks really good. So the next thing is, that way it just didn't feel, it felt too empty. It just didn't feel right. The whole barn, I don't know, I just needed to feel like maybe there was another decking out here. Now we got this double fencing, but now I'm using this fence that looks more like a barn, right? It just, I think it feels better, it looks better. So I'm using this one on the outside, and now we have like another walkway on the outside. Now I don't know what to use that for just yet, and we'll figure it out, right? We'll figure it out. This is part of the decorating process, the designing process, what we're gonna add, what we're not gonna add, and that's the other thing. So now here I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to approach this little idea here, how the fence is gonna wrap around, because this fence I'm putting here on the outside, just kind of clipping in so we can give more. So, and as you can see, I kind of clipped it like this. Now once I did this, I noticed that the backside now needs another, we need to extend the floor. And I was like, oh my goodness, we need to extend the floor. And sometimes this is gonna happen to you. You think you got everything right, you get a new idea, you're doing the new walkway, and then if you want to do a wraparound porch, that's something that I was trying to do, then yeah, then you're gonna notice that we need to extend. So sometimes you're gonna feel like you're done with the build, yeah, we're doing final details, and then you need to do it. And I recommend to do it, right? If that was your vision and that's something that you want to do, just go ahead and do it. Just build it. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna enjoy it. The end result, you're gonna love it. It's gonna make you happy, you know, and that's the most important, right? You want to be happy with the things that you build. You know, you want to decorate the way you want to decorate and build the way you want to build, right? And be inspired and just enjoy it as much as you can. So as you can see, we're doing the wraparound porch, but now I noticed that I did it too wide. Now it's too wide. And again, this is gonna happen, you know. This is why I left it in, you know, because sometimes the struggle is real. You know, you think you had it right, you think you put the right pieces. So what I did was I put the fencing to match the other side. I wanted to see what kind of blocks do I need it. So I noticed that I just need to go now with the single block. If I did the single block, then everything's gonna fit better and get the right measurement. So I went with the single, and thank goodness that we have the single block foundation, because that truly helps so much. And as you can see, by doing this, we get the right size and we just go and just make it, you know. And don't be discouraged, you know. Every time you build something, every time you're creating something, you know, at the end, trust me, it's gonna be worth it, you know. And enjoy the moment, take the breaks that you need to, you know. If you're getting a little frustrated, step back for a moment, come back a little later, you know, work on something else. The great thing about designing and builders game and creative games and stuff like that is the aspect that we can always build something else, you know, and take a moment and come back to a project, you know. And that's the most important thing, you know. As I keep learning and playing these styles of game, I do believe that one of the most important part is taking that break. That break is so important, you know. Don't give up on your project, you know, but come back to it, you know. It's gonna be great, you're gonna do amazing, you know. And just come back to it. Just take that break that you need to at the moment. I think that's gonna be the key to a lot of success right now, especially in Lego Fortnite, that not everything works great. There's still a lot of bugs. Sometimes you placing things starts curving, things start like bending and all this, and it just doesn't want to work right. You're trying to do a flooring and it doesn't want to place it right. You're trying to create beams, it doesn't place it right, you know. Or you're struggling for 10 minutes straight to try to snap a block and it's not snapping, right? But at the end, I think the creative aspect of Lego Fortnite, the way, the things that we can do and what we're going to be able to do in the future, it's truly worth it at the end to continue to play this game, to continue to master it, you know, and support it and have this creative outlet, you know, in a beautiful game like this one. You know, it's truly amazing what we can create slowly. And we're just in the beginning, and there are so many amazing people already creating and building such wonderful structure beyond what you see here today, you know. Like always, I'm more in the realistic realm in anything that I play, you know. I got my own style and I know what I like, you know. But there's so many people creating amazing things already, and I hope that this helps. I hope that this inspires you. I hope that this gives you an idea of what you can start already making in Lego, you know. Take the build, take the idea, duplicate it, make it your own, make it your way, add whatever you need to, because at the end, the most important is that you like what you build, that you create what you build, you know. This is all for you, all for the inspiration, and I hope it helps, you know. It helps and shows you what can be done, and I hope that this layout really helps you and realize, man, if I do this, but I add this over here, I add it on the wing, it's gonna look even better. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I'll see you next time. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.